Satan is homeless. Hey, what's up? It's Patrick. It's Rose via Fire. And I pray this message reaches who it needs to reach. So let's talk about Satan is homeless. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep it real with you, bro. Satan was the first person in history to get kicked out of his home, bro. Satan homeless. Know what I'm saying? Now, you might say that he has a home on planet Earth. He knows that doesn't compare to heaven. He knows, even he has common sense to know that this planet Earth does not compare to heaven. He got kicked out of his real home. He got kicked out. And then look though, Lord knows how long he was falling for. The distance that he fell from heaven to fall all the way down here, he was falling for a long time. And you have wings and you're falling. You have wings and you're falling. You have wings and you're falling. You know what I'm saying? You might got kicked out with some type of force. You got kicked out with maximum force if your wings wasn't working. You know what I'm saying? Where was your wings, bro, when you was getting kicked out? They wasn't working as you was falling. Your wings was in PTO. Your wings was in paid time curriculums. What's going on, bro? Who put your wings in detention? You couldn't fly when you was falling. You was falling all the way down here. Why are you falling all the way down here to the planet Earth? Why couldn't you fall to Jupiter or Mars? Why are you bothering us? You know what I'm saying? Why are you tempting Negroes? Satan. You could have picked up a trade, bro. You could have been a barber. You could have been you could have been like a carpenter or something. You could have been like you could have been a curricular scholar, bro. You could have been a teacher, a tutor. You could have been a driver. You know what I'm saying? And you could have been anything. You could have picked up a trade. You could have picked up a skill. Know what I'm saying? When you got kicked out of heaven and you became homeless and you was walking under the bridges, you could have become a barber. You could have, you could have filled out some application. You know what I'm saying? You could have worked at Burger King. Come on now. You could have been a barber. You could have been you could have been a doctor, a lawyer. Here, you see these ideas. These are ideas for you. Could have been a lawyer. Could have been a doctor or something. You could have been like you could have been an athlete. You could have been something. But instead, you chose to deceive Negroes. You chose to deceive Negroes for a living. You chose to steal from Negroes for a living. You could have been a barber. You could have been lighting people up, fades, and you could have picked up a trade or something. But instead, you chose to deceive ninjas, bro. And then when you fell from heaven for millions and millions of miles, Lord knows how many miles you done fell, bro. When you landed on the planet Earth, because like when a human being falls off a building, a human being falls off like a tall building, they dead, bro. They not gonna make it that fall, bro. They not gonna make it. They gonna die. You done fell all those millions of miles and you landed and you didn't die? How is this possible, bro? You know what I'm saying? So you might have like you have a different type of different body or something. Like you ain't died from that fall, bro. You could have died right there. We would have been free. I'm just saying, bro. Like I'm suggesting ideas. You could have been died right there. You would not have been tempting ninjas for a living. You would not have been deceiving ninjas for a living. Negroes would be free from you, bro. You could have died on impact. We would have been free, bro. No more temptations from the devil. No more nothing. We would have been free. You could have passed away. Why did you stand up? That's what we're trying to figure out now. Trying to tell you, bro. And I'm going to have to give you a new name now. And we're going to have to call you Dummy Satan now. Every time we see you, we're going to call you Dummy Satan, bro. Dummy Satan only, bro. That's your new name. You're going to be called Dummy Satan from here on, bro. You are no longer allowed to be called Satan, bro. You're going to be called Dummy Satan. That's gonna be a new name for eternity, bro. I'm trying to tell you what I'm knowing, bro. Dummy Satan out here trying to deceive souls, bro. Like, what are you doing? What is this dummy doing, bro? I'm trying to tell you, bro. But love them. Satan, let me ask you a question. How long you been homeless for, though? Satan, how long you been homeless for, bro? You done fail like, you done fail when? When did you fail? 2000 millennia BC? That's when you failed? Or was it in the, what's that year? Anno Dominos? Was it BC or Anno Domini? When did you fall, bro? Irregardless of when you fail, you've been homeless for a long time now, Satan. You know what I'm saying? You was the first ninja in history to be homeless when you really think about it. And instead of picking up a trade, an extracurricular activity, you chose to deceive Negroes for a living, right? Dummy Satan, you chose to deceive Negroes for a living? Come on, bro. Bro, you done chose. That's your. Look at a lot of the thing that going on in this world. A lot of the things that going on in this world, that look like it's your work. That look like it's the work of dummy Satan. I'm trying to tell you what I'm knowing, man. You know what I'm saying? You chose to deceive Negroes for a living. You could have been anything, bro. You could have signed up for extracurricular activity, bro. You know what I'm saying? You could have picked up an extracurricular activity course or something. But now you chose to deceive Negroes for a living. You chose to steal, kill, and destroy for a living. What type of monster is you? You don't want to see Negroes happy? You despise Negroes being happy, so you have to constantly tempt Negroes? You tempting Negroes for a living? What type of sick, narcissistic stuff you on, bro? You don't want Negroes to be happy? You don't want Negroes to thrive? You don't want Negroes to thrive? So now you're tempting Negroes for a living now? You is tempting Negroes for lunch, breakfast, and dinner. That's what you're doing for a living? That's a sad job, bro. You sad, bro. Trying to tell you, bro. You sad, bro. Hey, bro, dummy Satan sad, bro. I'm trying to tell you what I'm knowing, bro. Satan remind me of like a spoiled brat, bro. I think it's feeling so entitled, bro. Just a brat, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just a brat that fell from heaven, bro. Out here causing chaos in the planet Earth. Causing maximum chaos, bro. You know what I'm saying? You could have been a barber or something. You could have been a barber. You could have been lining up here. Fuck, nigga. Why you choose to deceive niggas? Why did you choose to deceive niggas? Excuse my ghettonese, bro, but I had to go in on Satan, bro. Why you choose to deceive niggas, man? You a bitch. You know what I'm saying? You a bitch. You are incompetent. You is an incompetent nigga droid imbecile. Let me repeat that for you. You is an incompetent nigga droid imbecile. One more time. You is an incompetent nigga droid imbecile, man. I'm trying to tell you what I'm knowing, bro. You ain't nothing for real, bro. Know what I'm saying? You ain't even nothing for real. I'm trying to tell you, bro. You out here deceiving souls, leading souls to hell, leading souls away from God. Why are you doing all that? You sad like that, bro? You too sad, bro. I'm trying to tell you what I'm knowing, bro. Hey, bro, the devil been sad for a long time now. I don't know, man, you know? But hey, I guess that's all I had to say. Peace.